Welcome to the Waseca Small Town Big Stories podcast, sponsored by Bird's Eye Foods and Itron. I'm your host, Ann Fitch, the Executive Director of the Waseca Area Chamber of Commerce, where we promote business and enhance community. Today I'm joined at the Suburban Furniture table by Monica Wendland from Glitter and Grace. Welcome, Monica.
Hi, Ann.
I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here.
I know, you're excited to be everywhere, though.
I am. I love this stuff.
I know you do. And you brought some table decor, too. I love it.
I brought some table decor. I've been watching your podcast, so I thought I'd ask if I could bring a little something from the shop.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I was just in your shop and I did some impulse buying there. You didn't even have to talk me into anything. I just saw something and went, oh, that's really cool. I'm getting that.
And thank you for shopping with me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm actually I'm a terrible shopper. I don't have the shopping gene from my mom at all. And I think there was one nail in my house when I got there. And so I went, oh, I'll put something there. And that's the decor we have in our home.
Wow. You'll have to have me over. I do privates.
Oh, tell me about what that means.
Well, when I wasn't open very much, when I first started, I was only open one weekend a month. And I always was promoting privates. And privates to me are if you want me to come into your home and help you style something on your wall, help you style an end table or a coffee table. I do that. And at no cost. I do it because I love it and I want to help people. But usually they buy products from me. I pack up a couple baskets and they find something they love and they keep it. And then I also do privates from my store. So if you can't catch me in when my store is open, I live 3 blocks from my store. So I do promote that inside my shop. And then if they're in town or they need a gift for someone or they're going to a funeral, they need something for their funeral or their baby, they message me on my page and we meet up there and they get their gift or they get their whatever they need.
Oh, what a tremendous service for a decor dunce like myself. I
know
love it.
People get scared, and I love to help people who are scared. I don't know if scared's the right word, but that are a little bit like, I don't have the gene. I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers, but my 3 sisters nor my brothers got the gene. I'm the only one of 6 who got I love to decorate. So they always have me help too.
It certainly is. It's a visual creativity in decorating because not everybody has it. Not everybody has it. And so when someone has that talent like yourself, it needs to be utilized. And those of us that don't have it need to bring someone into our homes to do that because it can be a little sparse or cold in homes that don't have the decor creativity in there. So I think that's a really neat service that you have for your customers. Wow.
I've enjoyed it. It's just another aspect, and I just feel like I want to help them. And my customers are so generous when they come in. They're always saying to me, which is a very high compliment to me, everything's displayed so beautifully. And that's really what I love to do is the staging part. And sometimes I don't have time because, as you know, I work at Red Lobster still in Mankato as a server.
Yeah, how long have you been at Red Lobster? Yeah. I think there's a lot of people who don't know that you work at Red Lobster in Mankato as well.
Yeah, I've been serving my whole life. So I've been there I went there at the opening, so it'll be 31 years right now. October, September.
My gosh.
31 years, and I probably did 15 years. I worked at Happy Chef in Town with Connie Rudy. That was great. So I just love working with people, helping people. I love being on my feet too. I mean, people are like, do you get tired? I said, now I'm getting older, so I'm getting a little tired being on my feet all day. But honestly, I couldn't do a sit-down job.
Huh.
I would have struggles with that because I got to be moving.
So are you at Glitter and Grace more or Red Lobster more?
So interesting question, because what happened is as my business grew, I started 6 years ago when the specialty shops were kind of doing one weekend a month. And I thought, I can do that with my job at Red Lobster. I can handle that. So I started very small. If you've been in my shop, you know I have a couple walls in there on wheels that I move around. And I paint furniture for staging. But I started out probably 20, 25, 30 hours a month. Everybody wanted me open more. So I said, okay, I'll pop open some of the weekends. I'm not staging. So I started doing that, and that went about another year. And then everyone's like, you got to open more. So then I went to every weekend since about the second year and a half, second year, I don't even remember. So I just thought, I'm going to commit and do every weekend, and I kept my job at Red Lobster. And then, they just continue to want me to be open more, and it's really hard with my other job. So I flipped from being full-time at Red Lobster and part-time at my shop to I'm a full-time owner at my shop now, and my managers take me when they can get me, they said. So I said, I'm going to have to quit this job because my shop is really growing. And they're like, we'll take you when we can get you. Any day you want to come work. Well, just you've been here forever. You know everything. So they're very generous with me on like if I need time off or on the holidays or if something happens. They're just really good to me there. And I love both jobs. So I don't want to quit Red Lobster.
Oh, I'm sure that, good servers are very hard to find in general, knowledgeable servers. So I'm sure they are going to take you exactly when they can get you. And you have a very condensed space, out on the north end of town, here in Waseca. And to see how your merchandise has grown and you have so much in that space, but it doesn't look and feel cramped. Like you can move around in your basement space there and in your entryway, and you don't feel like you're going to knock into something or knock something over. It's merchandised beautifully, which I love, and it's such a pretty space.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, the challenge was that little spot upstairs. It was very challenging to get as much as I could in there, and that's handicap accessible, so I need that for my business.
Tell me about the accessibility. Tell me about the accessibility, because I did not think it was
handicap accessible. So my basement, a lot of people who are either just had knee surgery or they're older with canes, they cannot go down there. So another service I do is I go either take a bunch of shots of pictures or I do a quick video. And then while people they're with, their daughters, whatever, are shopping, I come up, I show them the video, and they're like, I like that, I like that. And then I run down and I get the merchandise for them.
So you are the accessibility.
I am the accessibility to the basement, but I can have a storefront there because of that little 14 by 16 room that I check out people in.
Got it.
And I do extend into the hallway a little bit too. I pull it in at night, but I do extend. If you notice when you come there, I usually have a piece of furniture decorating in the hallway.
Yes.
But so it was an empty space when it came up, and I thought, I'm going to make this work. I can run down for people if they can't come down. I also added a second rail, so there's 2 railings going down. And actually, in my 6 years, I'd say every year I have 2 to 3 people who don't want to do the stairs, and they just shop upstairs. So it's not been a hindrance at all. I thought it might be, but no, it has not been a problem. So
that's great.
It's been really positive. The people who come in, they've been positive about it. So.
That's fantastic. And where did the name Glitter and Grace come from? I like it.
Yeah, so a friend of mine that's a shop owner in town, we were brainstorming, thanks Justine, and she kind of texted me or called me, I can't remember which, and came up with it. She goes, what about your girls' names? And if you're local here and from town, we had a tragedy in our family, so I don't want to cry on the podcast, but sometimes I talk freely about it with smiles and sometimes not, but I didn't want to put her name on my store.
Sure.
Abby's name would have been just too much for me. I said, I love having Olivia. Grace is my second daughter. And so I love the Grace part. Let's use their middle names so that way we don't have to have their names on my business, but it's part of me, which is really special. And then she texted back. I think she actually came up with the glitter part. I think she actually said, well, she's an angel. What about Glitter and Grace? And I'm like, that's perfect. I love it.
Oh my gosh, that's a fantastic way to name your business.
Yeah, so the Glitter is my angel and Grace is my lovely daughter, Olivia.
What a story.
And my customers always ask me how I named it because they love the name.
Yeah.
And I tell them, and then they're just like, that is awesome. They just love it. So I'm very pleased with my name. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better name. Plus, like when you decorate, some people are more glittery. Some people are more high-end. They like things sparkly. They like a lot. And some people are more Grace. Some people are simplistic, like you. I would not try to get you a whole wall. I mean, I would just do something really simple in your home because you've already shared with me that that's not your forte, although you would love, and so I try to read them and think, which one's the Grace, which one's the Glitter? So it kind of ties in with decorating too.
Yeah, that's such a cool story. I absolutely love that. With the products in your store, you talk about you have the Glitter and you have the Grace. You have a lot of makers that sell in your store, and I think that is the niche of Glitter and Grace. How many makers do you have that sell in your store, and how does that work? Right
now, I have 9, and 9 is kind of a good number. I could even have less because as I've grown, they've grown with their inventory. So I've had most of them since day one. A couple of them I got the year after. But so their vendors, they bring in their own merchandise that they hand make. So all my vendors, except for one, are hand makers. And so I have certain vendors that do certain things. I have a stained glass maker. A local lady in town makes stained glass. I have, as we know, the gnomes have been popular over the last 5 years for sure. I have a local lady who makes my gnomes. Her daughter also makes my wreaths. So they're kind of a tag team. Her daughter lives and works in the cities, but she made these beautiful wreaths and she brought them in and I'm like, oh, I love them. And she brought 4 in on Saturday and 2 of them are gone. So they're just beautiful handmade wreaths. I have 2 signers. I have a runner lady who is a retired teacher from town, and she also makes pumpkins. And then one of my friends from Red Lobster is one of my vendors also. So I had someone making candles, handmade candles. So they flow in and out, but for the majority of them, I'd say 7 of them have been with me. So I sell their merchandise, and at the end of the month, I cut them a check.
How neat for them. What a great outlet for them, and giving a small entrepreneur a taste of that. That I think that's just wonderful. Great collaboration too.
Yeah, and people love that part. A lot of people love the handmade. As you know, you've lived here all your life. Dolores Borcher said she started out handmade out in the country many, many years ago. So I started my own craft business from my garage. I did that with a relative of mine for 9 years. At the same time Dolores had hers when my kids were little, we would have 3 sales a year and do it out of our garage. So, and before that, right after college, I needed to pay off some college debt. So I don't know if there's probably people still out there that are familiar with home interiors and gifts, where you go into the home and you sell your wares. I did that for 8 years. So I've always had it it's in my blood.
Yeah. Were you a maker yourself? Did you make
Yes.
things? Yeah.
Yes.
What did you
And
start
I
off
was making things actually, Anne, for my store. But I just got so busy with the 2 jobs that I'm like, okay, I can't make things. I still paint furniture. Well, back in the 90s, when I was really doing a lot, I did the welcome signs. I did little snowmans. I'd make candy corn for fall. I'd make scarecrows for your front porch. I would make, we'd decorate on windows, paint on windows. I'd paint on old cabinet fronts that I got free. Just a multitude of things we would make. It was so much fun. Little boxes back in the day when I was making things, we'd make these little boxes and make them primitive, and then people would put their wares in there. So I love making, but I don't have time anymore.
I was just going to ask, do you even have the time to be a maker anymore?
No, I don't. I made 2 windows. We made 2 windows, and I put them in there for Christmas. I wanted a box on the window, the old window, and I painted them up, and I hung them on the wall, and I thought, I love these. I don't know what to price them. I don't know what's a good price. And this was just last weekend. And so I got them hung up by the weekend, and guess what?
Gone?
Yeah, both of them. I thought they'd make it through the holiday season. So in the first day they were up, they were gone. So I would love to make more, but I just don't have time.
Yeah. It's tricky when you do have a business and another job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, were you the craft mom?
No.
You weren't the craft mom.
No.
You weren't friendship bracelets and
No.
pipe cleaners and macaroni and things of that nature.
No, I did not craft with my kids very much, but you know what I was? And my daughter got it, the itch on that one. I am the party planner of the century. I love to party plan. So my kids people were like Monica. Like my golden birthday for my Olivia, she turned 9. We went to the nail salon. That was one stop. We went to the dance studio. That was another stop. We went to the golf course. And then we had a photo session at the house. You know how everyone sets up? Well, this was a long time ago. She's 23 now. And then we had a limo drive them around. And I always loved the parties, and I love to decorate for the parties. So I was the party queen. I love to decorate. I love it. And my daughter Abby loved helping with the party for Olivia. So we made stuff. We made these little white skirts with golden glitter with all their names on. We made stuff, but I wasn't the mom that sat down with them and did the macaroni on the paper.
Unless it was for a party, then you were going to be making it.
Then we did it.
That is really funny. So you may have been the inspiration for MTV's Super Sweet 16 party where it went over the top.
I am really over the top.
Somebody was spying on Monica Wendland's life.
Yeah, I am over the top for all of them. I just got a little nuts. And now, my daughter, she went to college in LA, and she had a choice between a job as an event planner, which she got the itch on campus. She planned the first ever It was great. She planned this first ever career fair for music industry program there. And she had 250 kids show up, which was awesome. And she had Universal set up, and she had all these people coming from LA. And she got the bug. She got the party bug. And she took a job in the music industry, but she immediately, 3 weeks after graduation, got a job with a wedding planner. So now she's an assistant to a wedding planner on the weekends. And she's just filling her niche there. So I did give it to one of my kids.
That is so awesome. That's so great.
Yep.
Well, you mentioned Los Angeles, so I'm going to ask about your time on the Family Feud.
Yeah.
How did that happen, Monica?
My little go-getter, Olivia, the one I was just talking about, she came home for her holidays. It was during COVID, so she stayed a little longer. She wanted her own car there. So after Christmas, her and Brad, my husband, they shopped for a car. But so she was home for 3 or 4 weeks, and one night late, she stayed up in her room and made this video montage of the 5 people she thought would be on the feud. Yeah. They asked who they were and what their names were, so she explained them in a video montage. And she never told me. I love Family Feud. I watch it every night. It's just kind of on when I'm cleaning and on. Yeah. I just think Steve Harvey's a blast. Mm-hmm. And so, like before she went back to school, she came into my bedroom one night. I was sleeping. She goes, Mom, it was like 11:30 at night. And she goes, Mom, I did a thing. And if you're a mother out there, I'm like, oh my God.
That could mean so many things,
I'm like
Monica.
Holding my heart going, ah. And then she said, I applied to Family Feud and we're going to get an audition. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love you. So, it was just so much fun. The whole thing was awesome. We got the audition. They said, yes, you'll be on. Just wait for the call. Be patient. There's a lot of people.
Where did you have to audition at?
We did audition in Atlanta where they're filming right now.
Okay.
It used to be LA. Mm-hmm. And Steve Harvey lives in Atlanta, and they moved the production into the Marvel Studios.
Oh, okay.
Production, there's a whole 20 acres with big studios. That's where they did the Marvel movies. That's where we auditioned, actually Zoom from home because of COVID.
Sure.
But that's where we filmed. We flew into Atlanta. Yep.
How interesting. And so how long were you there? Because you didn't just play one game.
So they filmed 4 games in one day, and somebody had just won the car before us, so we were the first up.
Okay.
So we made it through 4 games and lost the 4th one, so we were 1 away from the car. Oh. But we did tremendously. We won 2 fast monies, and my little Olivia, she just got us there, and she made it happen, and the whole thing was a blast. Steve Harvey's so funny, and the community, again, really, in sad times and in good times, the community really rallies here in Waseca. Mm-hmm. So I was going to the grocery store for like 4 or 5 months, and they're still saying, we loved you on the Feud, like strangers. Saw you on the Feud, so.
That's great, because it was you, Olivia, your daughter, your son, Matt, your husband, Brad, and then who was the 5th person?
His sister, Lori.
His sister, Lori. Now, how did you choose Lori? Because that 5th one has got to be a hard choice.
She was our daughter, Abby's godmother.
Okay.
And so she was our substitute for Abby.
That's awesome. That is awesome. What was the strategy going into the feud for the family?
We want to get to fast money.
Okay.
The strategy was, get me to fast money, because I'm the Family Feud buff. So I said, guys, get us to fast money once and I'll be happy. And we won the very first game, and I got to do fast money. So I was happy after the first game. And then we won.
Oh, yeah.
My husband was a rock star on that first game.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Olivia, but you and Brad kind of killed it in fast money.
Yeah.
You had all the number 1 answers in one of your fast money. And sorry, spoiler alert. I'm sorry. It's been out for months. It's been on TV for months, and it's been on the YouTubes. Come on. But you 2 killed it, and I swear you probably had this number 2 answers as well.
Well, the first time we won, I got it in the first answer.
Yeah.
So, he had most number 1s, and then my first deal, it was kind of immediate, I think.
Yes.
Because I remember not standing up there, but I watch it a lot, so I did prime those people. I said, if they're asking an age or a number, do not say 28 or 26. Say 20, 25, 30.
Yes.
Round it up, because the 26 ain't going to be there. So they listen to that.
Mm-hmm. There's a strategy.
I'm like, elephant is a lot on there, and a rhino's a lot. So if it's an animal with a big foot, say elephant. So I've been watching for 30 years.
There is a strategy to fast money answers.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I know. I'm here with you. And because when you watch it, do you get upset when people say just the dumbest answers at home?
I say in my mind, that's not going to be up there.
I know. That's not it. That's not it.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And I've been encouraging people that have really talked to me a lot about it, like you're very interested. You got to apply. Because it was really it was 3 years total from the process of her applying to it airing. It was that
3 years.
It aired in February, 3 years later. So they have a lot of people that apply. So you just have to be patient. And they must have really liked her video. She's a rock star.
Yeah.
She is just so awesome. And she had taken production courses in college for music. So she took old video clips off her camera. And she did it. And I said, I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh. So if any of you out there want to see it, I'll message you it. But it was
fun.
Great. She did not make a mistake. She sounded like a DJ. And I said, you're so calm when you're talking and you're so awesome, Olivia. And she goes, I know, because it was like 3 a.m. when I was doing it and you and Dad were sleeping and I didn't want to wake you up when I was doing it. So I was like kind of whispering in a lower voice. And she goes, and this is my dad, Brad, and this is my mom. And then she had all these cute little clips. So it was just spectacular. I'm really proud of my kids. Can you tell?
Oh, you are, and I love it. I love it. What was the downtime like, in between with Steve Harvey and stuff and interacting with him?
So we did not have a lot of downtime because we were the first family called. We were there. I think they picked us up at 6:45 in the morning, and then they showed us the rules, took us over to the studio, put our makeup on. We were supposed to be able to rehearse, but no, everybody was rehearsing, and finally they call us up and they all got to push the button to know what it feels like. Steve Harvey was ready. He's like, Steve's ready, off the stage, and I'm like, we didn't get to rehearse.
Oh my gosh!
But I was quite quiet.
Yeah, were you a little nervous? Like, oh my gosh, I'm on stage and I gotta hit that buzzer.
Well, we were nervous first game, but then I wasn't nervous. Everyone's like, why were you so quiet? It wasn't even like you. And I said, because I know Steve Harvey and he's gonna pick on the one with the most personality. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't want to be that person in our family, and I knew there were so he loved Matt.
Yeah.
He loved Matt. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of downtime. It took about over an hour to film, maybe an hour and 15, hour and 20. And they would stop in between each category and come put powder on our faces. And then Steve would go to the audience and do like a side gig, a comedy hour. Fun. And so when we were on stage the whole time, we didn't get to see that. And he was, in the front of the stage and they were talking to us and pumping us up. So we didn't really get to see that. So I was like, I want to see Steve Harvey. But, then they go back to filming. So when we left that day, we asked our guy that was taking care of us, we're like, can we come back tomorrow and like watch other people?
Yeah.
Let me check. So he called us later and said yes. And I said, well, what took so long? He goes, you're the first family that's ever asked to come back.
What?
Usually people just lose and go home.
Well, I mean, I get it, but I mean, yeah, I'd want to come and watch the show and see what it's like from the other side. I think that was really neat that you asked to come back.
We were kind of unique.
Yeah.
They loved us. They loved us there from a small town.
I bet.
Yep.
Did you interact with the other family that you went up against at all? Did you get a chance to talk to them?
During makeup session, you could talk to them.
Cool.
Yep. So we did a little bit, but it wasn't like we were together,
right,
and able to talk a lot. But in the backstage when we were doing our makeup, they were asking us, "How do you do? What are you doing?" And you're doing something right, because the third family was asking us all sorts of questions because we were doing pretty good.
Right. Hey, back off! We're trying to win.
It was fun.
What a neat experience for your family. I mean, not the first Wasecans to be on a game show, and I bet not the last, but still, how cool was that? Was it a little nerve-wracking being up at the buzzer for your family?
Oh yeah, I blew it, my first one. My kids were mortified. I'm not even going to say what I said here. They were mortified. And then Steve Harvey even it's Native American, Monica. I said Indian.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm sorry, I was raised in a different generation, and I know that's right, but when it just came out.
Yeah, sometimes you just blurt things out.
Yeah, so he was giving me a hard time about that, and then my kids in the back were like, Mom, and I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to humiliate myself.
Hey, that happens sometimes, you know. But hey, you got those lights blaring down at you, and like you said, they're probably putting the makeup on you in between.
Yeah,
a little sweaty.
Getting water.
Getting water.
So people who watch my lives so they love my lives. I don't like doing them really because I'm kind of embarrassed. You know. But the people from the shop that like my lives, they know. Like, I just make mistakes. I say something wrong. I just beg for forgiveness later. Like, sometimes I've said something wrong, and I just say in the comments, "Oops, I was wrong on that." But I mean, I am who I am. Love me or hate me, and I know there's both out there, but I just try to be as kind and as welcoming and inclusive as possible in my life.
Yeah.
And it seems to have done well with my business.
Well, I think, part of making mistakes or faux pas is the actions afterwards and learning from them. I think that's the most important part. So, going forward, that's great.
Yeah.
But like I said, what an experience for your family. What a memory for your family. Holy cow. What a memory for the community too. That's because it was
so
fun.
fun.
It was fun to people posting, you got to watch the Wendlands again tonight on Family Feud.
Yeah. It was a good time. It was a lifetime memory for our family.
Yeah. What a treat. So what's next for Glitter and Grace?
Well, we got a lot on the docket. It's Christmas season. I brought a little Christmas decor. So as you know, this is the busiest time. Start usually end of September, first part of August. So what I do in my store is I reset the whole store. I pull out everything but Christmas pretty much. And I've started reset late September. We have the Christmas open house. We have the Small Business Saturday
Small Business
November.
Saturday, love it.
That's in November. And we also have our shop holiday stroll between the specialty shops in Waseca coming up. None of us are really open on Sundays, but at Christmas time, we do, I believe it's the first Sunday in December from noon to 5. So we just got the cards printed here at Quality Print, and we got those out, so we'll be promoting that. So Christmas is a great time to come shopping in Waseca, ladies. If you're out there listening to this podcast, such an awesome time in Waseca with all the cute shops and the cute places to eat.
It is. And guys, if you're listening, get those gift certificates and gift cards if you don't know what to buy.
If you know your wife or sister or aunt, whoever you're giving gifts to, if you know where they shop, get into those shops and get gift cards, because that helps too, because then they come in and pick out something they love. Or make sure you let your wife know to point something out at the store. It's another service I do. They're like, my husband wanted me to point something out, so if he comes in, this is what I want. So I make a little note in my tablet that says, Amy wants this, and
correct.
The husband comes in, and guess what? They get what they want.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Monica has done the shopping for you guys.
Yes.
It's fantastic. Now, I think it's great that we do have this community of specialty shops in Waseca, because more shops breeds more women coming to town to shop in them. Because if you just have one or two, it's going to be hard to bring shoppers in droves. When you have 5, 6, 7, brings a lot more people to town because it gives them a reason to come here. Now, what year did you open, Monica?
Oh my gosh. What year was it? It was 6 years ago in May. So it'll be 7 years in May. So that was, it's 23. So was it 97 or 97? See? 2000. There's a mistake.
2017. Yeah.
2017 or 2016. Yeah, one of those. 2017, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it's been just tremendous.
It is. It's great to have the community of shops, and you think about where Waseca has grown retail wise since past and present. Sandy's the OG of shops.
I love Sandy. I love past and present. She is a good neighbor. When I first opened, she sent so many women, and still does, down to me. She's just a very good supporter, and I just call her the Waseca treasure. She's just a treasure. I love Sandy so much. You got to get her in here on a podcast.
I know the stories that she has about how the evolution of shopping in Waseca has happened, and it's so great to see her be either an intentional or unintentional mentor. For other shop owners in this community. Has just been fantastic, and seeing the success of Glitter and Grace is really a testament to that, because I do know what she's done for your business.
She's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, and I'd agree with you, Ann. With we wouldn't get the sales we get without having this many shops. I will tell you, ladies make a day of it. They come from St. Peter, Owatonna, Mankato, Northfield, Faribault, 3 or 4 at a time, and we love coming to Waseca. Such cute shops and such good eats.
Yeah.
And it's brought so many people to town, and it's not just for decor or for clothing or for the specialty shops, also for the restaurants.
Absolutely. They can come, and they have a lot of different options. And where to eat here. And sometimes as locals, we maybe get down on ourselves of like, oh, I eat at the same places every time. Well, that's okay. that's fine. But when people come to town here, this is new flavors and new entrees and new something to them. So it is exciting to see people come to our community and try everything and get excited about being here. And that's a testament to our shops and our restaurant owners and our hospitality industry. It's fantastic. I love it.
I love it too.
And you're on the front line seeing it, and all the shop owners are, of knowing where everyone comes from in northern Iowa and even the South Metro. So
Yep, they come from all over.
yeah.
I had ladies come from, this was about a month ago. There was 2 ladies. They walked in, and the one peeked around the corner, getting my little space upstairs, and she turned back to her friend. She goes, "We're here." And I was like, "Who are these ladies?" And I said, "Yes, welcome." You know, they came in and they're like, "We love you. We've been watching your lives for like a year, and we keep saying, we got to get there. We got to get there."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, that's such a compliment. Thank you." And she goes, "We came for your shop because we love your lives." And they were in the shop shopping for, I bet it was an hour and a half. They were loving it. And they're like, "We'll bring friends next time." And so they're like, "We'll be back." And then I gave them the card. We have a card printed where it has all our shops and the map. And I did say there's so many other sweet shops here. You know, that's what you got to do as a business owner. You got to support the other business too.
Yeah, you do. You really do, because it's not competition, it's complementary.
Yes.
And what I've always said is the shops in town, everyone has their niche. Everyone has the thing that makes them different. You're not going to find what's at Monica's shop, at Sandy's shop, at Abby's shop. You're just not. Everything is different. And so
Yes.
you really can find something for everyone everywhere. And it's fantastic.
Yep. It's great.
I love it. You know, where are you from, Monica?
Well, originally my dad was in the military, so we moved all over the place. I was
Yeah.
born in Germany. I lived
Born
in
in Germany. Get out of
I
here.
was.
Born in Germany.
I always thought that was cool until I went to get a passport. Ugh. And to give him like my right arm. But yeah, I was born in Germany, and we were there till I was about 1.5. Then we moved to Phoenix. So I was in Phoenix through 2nd grade, I believe. And my dad was originally from Waterville, my mom from Lee Center. So we moved back, he retired, and we moved back to Waterville. And so I was in Waterville until they divorced. So I moved to Waseca at age 11.
Okay.
And so I call Waseca my home.
I would too.
Because I've been here since I was in 5th grade or 6th grade. And when Mr. Oraskovich was my math teacher, and my kids had Mr. Oraskovich, it was great he taught math back then and then became an English teacher.
Yeah, because I thought for sure you graduated from Waseca, so that really threw me when you said you were born in Germany.
Yep, he was military, so
Okay.
I'm a military brat. But Waseca's my home. You know, I love Waseca. Small towns really are a great place to raise families, are a great place to have good friendships. My desire was to move to the cities after I graduated and decorate office spaces, like do big buildings, pick out their carpets, pick out their wall palette colors, do their designs on their walls, pick out their desk. And that was my true design, was to do commercial decorating and commercial, and I met my husband, Brad, and his husband his dad, not his husband, his dad owned a place that they sold that kind of stuff. And so he knew my background, and he goes, "Well, you can't open a business here. You'd be in competition with us." In true Kenneth form, he's like, "You can't do that." And I'm like, "Well, what if I do?" And he goes, You can't do that." So I filled my creative end making crafts then.
Yeah, so you married into the Associated Lumber Mart family, Brad Wendland, Kenny
Yep.
Wendland, his dad. So they said, "No, you
can't be a decorator.
You can't do that."
And he goes, "But you can work for us." And I'm like, "I'm not working with my husband. I don't want to do that." I wasn't up for it. I kind of like just meeting up with them at the end of the day.
Right.
So I didn't choose to do that. But yes, I mean, so I had aspirations of doing other things. So everybody out there that have these big goals and aspirations, life kind of takes you on your own path, and life happens, and we just need to embrace what life. I never thought I would open a decor shop. So life kind of just takes us down these paths that we don't know what's next. And most things are very happy and exciting. And sometimes, sad things happen too. But you just have to be the best person that God made you and go out there and be happy and try to I'm embracing the store now. I kind of, when I started to grow, I was like, how am I going to do this? I can't do both. There was a time where I was working a lot, 85 hours a week. And I was like, now I'm not doing justice to either one. And that's when I kind of decided to pull back, and I went to my manager and said, I think I need to pull back here and spend more time at the store. And most of my customers know that, so they're very generous with, I was last Thursday in the shop actually pulling Christmas when people were shopping. Like, I'm sorry, we're in between seasons. And they're like, pull more, we want to see more. So they were embracing it. But sometimes you have to be in there when you're open too, doing stuff.
Right.
Because you just need to get the work done.
Yes. Yeah, you're always working when I pop in there.
Yeah.
You are always moving product around, putting new product out, switching out seasons. Yeah. You're always working in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been really fortunate. I used to hire high school girls, and they were just such a blessing to me, and they were all the sweetest little girls. And one of my friend's daughters worked there, and I kind of gave her the love of decorating and the love of sales. Mm-hmm. So she's thinking about being a real estate agent. I said, you'd be a great real estate agent, because she wasn't like a good at doing the staging. What she was awesome at was selling.
Oh, great.
Every time she worked, I had like double the sales.
And you need this.
Yeah.
You should probably get this.
Yeah. And now I have a couple retired ladies working at the shop that do awesome. LaVon and Mary. Mary owned a shop here in town for many years. She's retired. LaVon worked for Summer House Diane, and they both love it. And I'm so lucky to have them.
That's fantastic when you can find great employees like that. Mm-hmm. That is so fantastic. Being able to grow up here, live here, make your life here, raise a family here. What does it mean to you to be able to serve the Waseca community that you love and grown up in?
I love it. I love serving anyone. I service anyway. As you know, I work out of town. I service, a lot of Waseca people have passed for me over at my other job, but I like serving it. What is good about owning a business and bad, it's like a catch-22 a little bit, is you can give. I did donate a bunch of stuff to the Waseca band garage sale. All my kids were in band. I'm having a little fundraiser, deer hunting opener for one of my friends that's struggling. I have tried to invite women in business in when I have my big events. Mm-hmm. I try to invite a small business who's maybe making cupcakes, or maybe making cookies, or maybe doing something else. I'm going to have, and all of those people live here in Waseca that I have as guests for my larger. So I think I've really tried to help others as well. That's one of my passions, is helping others too. So I think I'm feeling my creative end, and I'm feeling my kindness end. It's really important. Our family preaches kindness. Everybody gets grumpy, I know that, but I think we should put our best foot forward and be kind to all and not judge. And I do have my little signer that I had for many years. She does a lot of biblical scriptures on her signs, and those have been really popular. And with everything with COVID and the way the country is, I just think, I think people come shopping to feel good too. I mean, it's retail therapy.
Yes, that's a real thing.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
With everything going on in the world, I see spikes in sales when things are not good. Because women feel better if they go, get something pretty for themselves, or just even not even buy, but go out.
Just to look. Mm-hmm. Yep, just to get out. That's
quite a service, to just give them an opportunity to come to a happy place and feel welcomed.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. And being a retail owner is an absolute service. Yes, it's a business, but it is a service to a small community. So often, other communities that I drive through, they don't have anything. They don't have storefronts, and so to have small businesses in our community, it is a service to the quality of life of our community. And so I am thankful for your business. I'm thankful for you.
Thank you.
Yes. So thank you for what you add to the quality of life of our community. Thank you for what you add to the business community. Just thank you overall, Monica.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's good to hear.
Yes. And you kind of answered this, but before we wrap up, this is the last question I ask everybody. When you were 17, before kids and reality set in, what did you think you were going to do with your life?
Move out of Waseca.
That's what everybody when they're 17 thinks they're going to do, which is very healthy. That's a very healthy thing to think, that you're going to move out of your hometown.
Yeah, I think because they just want to see the world. You just want to see the world at that age. You just want to go out and say, I was someplace else. Mm-hmm. And I think everyone feels that way, even if it's not Waseca, if it's any town, even if it's Mankato or Rochester. I feel like people want to just get out in the world when they're young. But yeah, I met my husband. He's 3 years older. And I met my husband, and I never would have thought I would have been staying in Waseca. I moved here. I moved back after college to pay off college debt. I paid my own way. I worked 80 hours a week back then. I got a job at E.F. Johnson's, and then I waitressed. And I worked a lot of hours, and I paid it off in like a year and a half, 2 years it took me, but didn't do a lot other than work. But I got it done, and in that period, I met my husband. And so look what Waseca gave me. A nice husband and 3 beautiful children.
Yeah. Yes, not too bad.
Not too bad. That's what it's about, people. It's about people and life and family. It's not about being the busiest or it's really about life. About being good to each other. That's what we're here for as human beings. And if I can have a decorating shop that helps ladies feel a little better, I'm happy for it. But if you're not getting the point that people are the most important things in your life, I think you're kind of like haven't hit the nail on the head quite yet. But I am very, very well loved. I mean, and actually, my daughter was up for homecoming queen in high school, and I'm just going to give you some kudos. You sent her a bouquet of flowers the week she got up, and you told me later that you were up in your year.
Yes.
I graduated in '84. You're much younger than me, but I just think that's really special that you create that. And my daughter was very impressed, and I said, that's really awesome that she sends bouquets to the candidates. So that's what living in a small town does, people.
Yeah, it does. It makes it easier to create those connections and put kindness out there, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you.
Fun. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. It makes it easy and fun to put kindness out there in a small town. So
it does.
Olivia's very welcome.
She loved it.
Good. I'm glad. That's something I've been doing for it's 25 years now. So it's a fun little thing to do for the homecoming.
It really is,
candidate.
and it's special to them.
Good. I'm glad. Hopefully it makes their week a little more special. But this is not about me, Monica. It's
I know.
not about
I keep
me.
saying that to people
Gosh,
too.
this is
We're
about
having this little fundraiser.
No,
and they're
this
like,
is
"You're
about
so
you."
awesome." I'm like, "I'm not awesome. I'm a human being just trying to care for another human being that's hurting."
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not about me. Like, I'm having this fundraiser for a young man who just got diagnosed with leukemia, and I really want to help them. And I'm not posting it to look good. I'm posting it because they need help. So I'm trying to always bring it back to the person we're talking about.
Right. It's you don't do things for kudos and accolades.
No.
You do it because you want to help someone or make them feel better.
Right.
So, which is very commendable. And again,
that's what my shop's about.
Yes, your message is spreading kindness.
Yes.
Which is what everyone should do and have no problem doing because it feels good.
It does.
It feels good to give and receive kindness. So. Thank you so much for being here today, Monica. This was just a blast to talk to you about all things glitter and grace, all things Family Feud, all things Wendland. This was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm so happy you invited me. And sorry we got off on the Family Feud tangent.
Oh, no sorries on that.
But it's I like to talk about my store too. But
I think people are going to enjoy hearing about Family Feud. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I've just been blessed, and thank you for having me, and thank you for inviting me. I know the first time you invited me, I couldn't. My son got married, and that went well, and they're all happily married now. And so we get busy, but thank you for asking me again to come.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you to our sponsors, Bird's Eye Foods and Itron. Without them, we could not tell the big stories of our small town. And thank you to our production team, Small Town Media and Production. Join us next time for another episode of Waseca Small Town Big Stories.